Ever since that night, I haven't been able to sleep properly. Every time I close my eyes, I feel like someone is standing outside my door, listening, waiting, breathing. I keep telling myself it's just my imagination. But deep down, I know it isn't. Because something is wrong with apartment 203, and something is terribly wrong with the man who lives inside it. The day after I saw him listening through my door, I decided to avoid the hallway completely. I rushed in and out, never looked toward his apartment, never stood outside for long, but the feeling never left. The feeling that someone was watching me from the other side of that wooden door. That night, something strange happened. I heard a soft tapping sound, so light it almost blended with the silence. But it wasn't coming from the hallway. It was coming from the peephole. At first, I thought it was the wind hitting the door, or maybe the wood cracking. But when I stepped closer, the tapping stopped instantly, like whoever was doing it could hear me approaching. I leaned in slowly, hesitating, and looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty, but before I could take my eye away, something moved. Just a shadow. A dark, tall figure passing across the far end of the corridor. No sound, no footsteps. Just a flash of movement in the corner of my vision. And when I leaned closer again, the hallway was completely still. I tried to convince myself that I was imagining things, that my fear from the night before was messing with me. But then the strange noises started. Not loud noises. No, the Silent Tenant never makes loud noises. It was more like faint whispers. Whispering that seemed to come from inside his apartment. Soft, low, almost like multiple voices speaking at the same time. I pressed my ear gently against my wall, trying to understand the sound. It wasn't a TV. It wasn't music. It wasn't talking. It was breathing. Dozens of breaths. Slow, uneven, unnatural. Like people gasping for air right behind the wall. I stepped back instantly, heart pounding hard against my chest. There's no way one person can breathe like that. No way one human can make that sound. I tried to distract myself, but the whispering continued. Sometimes it faded, sometimes it grew louder, sometimes it stopped for hours, only to return when I finally started to calm down. Around 3 a.m., I heard something else, something that made my entire body freeze. My door handle moved, just slightly, a slow, quiet turn. Like someone was pushing it down a little at a time, testing it, checking if it was unlocked. I held my breath and stepped closer. The handle stopped moving. The silence felt heavier than ever. I slowly placed my eye against the peephole, and for a second, I saw nothing, just an empty hallway. But then, something shifted right in front of my door. Only inches away from me, a dark shape slowly leaned forward. I couldn't see a face. I couldn't see eyes. Just a dark, human-shaped silhouette, bending closer and closer toward the peephole. He wasn't knocking. He wasn't talking. He wasn't trying to break in. He was watching me, watching him. I stumbled back, nearly falling. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. Who stands that close to someone's door without making a sound? Who knows exactly when someone is looking through the peephole? I waited in the corner of my apartment, clutching my phone with trembling hands, listening for any sound. But the hallway was silent, completely silent. No footsteps walking away, no breathing, nothing. After what felt like an hour, I forced myself to check again. I approached the peephole slowly, praying the hallway would be empty. But just before I looked, I heard a sound I will never forget. Someone whispered my name, Aiden. Not loud, not threatening, just wrong. Too close, too soft, too familiar. The voice sounded like it was inside my apartment, even though I knew it wasn't. I took a deep breath and looked through the peephole. No one was there, but something had changed. A small object was sitting on the floor, right in front of my door. I unlocked the chain slowly, opened the door just an inch, and picked it up. It was a piece of folded paper, old, yellow, like it had been kept somewhere damp inside. In the same handwriting as the first note were just 3 words, "Don't look back." Signed again, 203. I stood there, frozen. If he didn't want me to look back, that meant he was behind me, didn't it? I shut the door instantly, locked it with all 3 locks, and pressed my back against it. I didn't want to turn around. I didn't want to check. I didn't want to know. And then, something cold touched the back of my neck. A breath, slow, deep. I spun around instantly. No one was there. The apartment was empty, but the air felt wrong, like someone had just been standing inches behind me. I grabbed my keys, my shoes, my jacket. I was ready to run out of this place, even if it was the middle of the night. But when I reached the door, there was a shadow under it. A pair of feet, not moving, just standing there, waiting. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. The silent tenant wasn't in his apartment anymore. He wasn't in the hallway. He was everywhere, and I think he's getting closer.